In this video, we're going to take a look at one of the closest series ever inside of Brawl Stars esports, so stay tuned to the end to see how it plays out. All right, as we're hopping into the first game, it is going to be us, Tribe Gaming versus Chaz McAnay in the semifinals of the monthly final. Now, here's how the draft kind of played out. I believe it was a first to pick Penny. They went Stu, Lola, we went Janet, Pam, and they last picked a Squeak, which we were a little bit worried about. We actually knew that that was probably the brawler they were going to go for, and it was probably the best pick for them to do. And well, so it wasn't a great draft for us, but it was winnable in my opinion. But either way, how it's playing out, we have Janet mid versus the Stu, which is in favor of the Janet. Now, his Livy goes airborne, and I think honestly, a couple of the mistakes here are going to be when he decides to fly during out this set, but it is a tough decision when to know how to fly. But either way, so far so good. We still have a lead of about 15%, 10%, and unfortunately Zuan is going to go down. Now the Squeak circle makes it really hard for us to push up this right side, but luckily Tyrant gets a lot of control on the left, but we lose our turret. I don't know if you noticed, we lost our turret so fast, and that's one of the main reasons Penny is so good. It's the fourth player inside of the match, and if we lose our turret instantly, well, then the Penny pick is just all right. It's just nothing crazy anymore. So we have to be a little bit more cautious of where we put our Penny turret going forward. So that possibly could have cost us a little bit here in the first, but we're still winning about 25%. It's actually looking pretty good. Zuan's got his Pam turret. It's going to stay up a little bit longer, and you can see he's doing his best. The right side is the hardest side to win. Don't forget that. But either way, as Livy's going to get tagged by the Squeak super. Squeak, again, was the pick that really gave us a lot of trouble during the set. As Livy goes airborne, gets a little bit of damage. I don't mind this one whatsoever. He does grab a kill, takes out the speed zone turret as well, but unfortunately Zuan is going to go down on the right side. Tyrant is trying his best to stay up as we're still only about 20% ahead. Still very close game, anybody's game right now, but the Squeak circle hits. That means Tyrant is going to go down. The turret is in a better spot this time, and it is shooting, but we need to get back in control. We need to get some kills right about now. Zuan, excuse me, does get a turret. He's trying to win this side, but against Lola it's a very tough matchup as Livy's getting control and we're back to getting time. So honestly, looking really good for us right now, as Toast is really low as well. So here, I think this is crucial mistake. I think as Livy goes airborne right about now, where if he stays on the ground, I think he might be able to grab that kill onto Toast. And then honestly, they just kind of, collapse on us as soon as he goes airborne. And slight mistake. I don't know if it cost us the game or not, but we do lose the first one. So let's hop into the next. All right, so hopping into the next one. Yes, I skip a little bit, but yeah, I'm going to be skipping a lot throughout this series because there was a lot of boring parts, but it also is the way it should be played. Like pro play sometimes is just who makes the mistake first. And honestly, you have to play a little bit patient, but either way, so far not too bad for us. Zuan is actually doing a great job this game around. He had such a good start on this right side, popping his gadgets to hold control and honestly just allow us to collect time in the mid. But I also wanted to mention to you guys, if you want to see other pro games, you have to let me know and which games you want to see me cover. I will definitely go in depth on some games. If you found some interesting ones that you want to see, you want me to talk about the drafts, I'm more than happy to willing to do that. Let me know down in the comments below. But either way, so far so good again. I mean, we're looking not bad. We do have a slight lead. Zuan is going to place his turret, trying to stay alive on this right side. Unfortunately, it goes down very fast. And maybe I think if he does place his turret a little bit back, it might have been a little bit more helpful. He might have been able to hold the lane longer. He does go down because Lola is just a tough matchup for him. But again, we still have the lead. That's the important thing, but it's kind of dwindling down. Again, it's very tough matchup for Toast kind of in the mid versus his Livy, but he does have the dashes. He does have the help of the Squeak and the Lola, which I do think they have some very solid lanes inside this map. But again, super close game. Anybody's game right now. It's really the next person to make a mistake. Toast goes extremely low. Tyrant's going to be able to dodge out on some shots, playing a little bit aggressive. Toast is actually one shot. So this is looking really good for us. Again, though, Zuan's having a little bit of hard time versus the Lola, which is to be expected. Does get some shots as Livy onto the Lola, onto the Stu. Tyrant makes a beautiful heads up play here. I don't know how he ended up dodging so many Squeak shots, but he goes for it, gets the kill, puts Toast in a bad spot, and we grab the second game. Well, game 3. All right, so hopping into game 3. Yes, I'm going to be skipping a little bit of almost every series because, well, it was a very slow series, but it was so close. Like, you guys, honestly, the adrenaline in the VC and just how nervous I was, it was actually kind of crazy. But either way, so far, not the best start. This one was probably our worst. I believe Zuan missed his gadgets, unfortunately, on the right side at the start. And again, the Squeak circle is so difficult for him to push up into. So again, very good pick from them on the Squeak. And you can see he's going to make a play, but unfortunately, Toast is just going to be able to dash around very easily there. And now it's looking really, really bad for us as they have full control. They don't have any more squeak circles though. That's the only really good thing that we have going for us. They have no more speed zone turrets after this one. So as long as we come back and get a little bit of control, we're able to really come back and lock it down. But we need to do it sooner than later as they're still collecting time. It's about 80% right now. The speed zone turret finally goes down right about now. And we do have a turret. So this is the time where we can actually make a play, turn this game around, and we have to lock it down here. So Zulon gets the turret on the right side, is going to lock it down as long as possible, allow his Livy to win his lane in the mid. Tyrant's going to try his best to win against RBM. We do need to get RBM down a little bit sooner. He does get the kill, but unfortunately we're going to lose the turret in the process. But again, they need 9% more. We need to lock this down, but they have too much things to do. They have too much HP, and you can see RBM pushing up with clone. They have Toast with super. Very hard for us to stop them from coming out. I felt like we had to play super aggressive here, but even if so, it is just really, really unlikely that we were going to win. We did our best. We actually made it a little bit closer than we thought. You know, we put them in a pretty tough spot, but eventually they walk in. We do get it close to 93%, which was pretty impressive, but we do lose the first set. So let's get to the next one. All right, guys, hopping into the next set on Safe Zone, and you'll notice there's only 1 minute left in the game, and that's because nothing actually happened until then. Now, the reason being is because Amber is one of those brawlers that plays super slow, locks it down with the fire in the mid. And well, they were kind of playing the same way we played. We expected that we would have a better last minute push than they did. And I don't know why they didn't try to make plays a little bit earlier, but they, I guess, wanted to do the same thing. So we were just going to wait until Carl either got an opportunity or a spin, and we were going to push up last second. So 30 seconds on the clock. This is where it's time to make a play. You'll see Tyrant goes in. This is perfect from him. He does exactly what he needs to do, grabbing damage on the safe, finally giving us a lead. Again, it was 100 to 100 forever, 20% or 20 seconds left on the clock. RBM gets a nice super in, but this is actually so close. RBM's trying to make the play. We do have another 8-bit turret ready to go. Tyrant is also going to go for a damage one more time. He's going to go up. You're not going to see him on screen, but we're able to defend this RBM on the right side, I believe. As Livy just gets a couple shots in, and we win by 3%. Let's get in the next one. All right, game 2. And well, you'll see 25 seconds left on the clock. I don't want to bore you guys with 2 minutes of just nobody actually doing anything. So this is the exciting part. This is the part to watch. We have 8-bit ready to go, Carl spin ready to go, but they're saving the 3K. You can even see how patient they are playing this. They literally are just waiting for the 3K to hit the Carl. Now it's 100 to 100 as Livy's trying to make a play, does get 3K. They have 2 seconds left to get damage. And this is probably one of the first ever 100 to 100% ties you'll ever see in Heist. Nobody won. Next game. All right, game 3, 25 seconds left on the clock. Similar story. And again, the reason being is because Amber is one of those slow brawlers on this map. I really dislike the strat. I also hate unbreakable walls here because of how slow it has made this map. This used to be one of the fastest paced maps of the game, but sometimes you have to play it the right way, and I felt like we did. We were gonna wait till the opportunity. You can see Carl ready to go. Carl goes in, gets one shot onto the safe as Livy grabs a little bit of damage, but one Colt super did 2% more, so we lost. Super close. So let's hop into hopefully the last set or last game of Safe Zone. All right, hopping into the last one of Safe Zone. Now, there's 2 minutes on the clock, and you'll notice we are going to play this one differently. Honestly, whether we were just tired of sitting back and absolutely doing nothing, or I think honestly the aggressive play goes to our advantage sometimes, you'll see Tyrant make an early aggressive play. Finally, damage has been done, more than 30 seconds left in the game. Tyrant gets a good solid amount of damage, honestly, with how little amount of damage has been played or been put out throughout the entire of the game. So that's a ton. That's honestly a ton. But either way, looking so far not too bad. Tyrant again going back, has another gadget, has 2 more gadgets. That's the biggest thing you have to keep in mind. 2 more gadgets to make some plays, and we are going to go aggressive. Why not? Honestly, he goes in, gets 1 shot, and guess what? We don't really lose that much control. You can see that they're trying to go for it. Zulon does get a turret, and that's actually better for us. Honestly, I think we win out on this trade 100% of the time, and we have a turret now. As Livy unfortunately goes down, but they're trying to make a play, and they do just get the kill with RBM. Tyrant goes in though, grabs more damage. That is the last Carl gadget, and we are up by 1% as Livy goes, kills RBM. Super close game, guys. We have a turret still though. The turret helps us so much. Boom, hits Juan Carlos in the mid, allows us to get control. Now, super close game still, 2% difference, 50 seconds left on the clock. We have a turret, and I don't think this was the turret placement because it goes down so fast. I understand the point of it, trying to stay alive, trying to be able to push up to RBM, but unfortunately Unfortunately, that means we lose the turret. Now we have 2% needed to get with 30 seconds. Now, again, this is similar to earlier. We want to hold the control here, go in for a last second push if we can, but they do well. They take down our turrets as Livy goes extremely low, actually goes down, but Zulon and Tyrant do a great job here of holding as long as they can. RBM is looking to get some damage. Tyrant goes in though, grabs a little bit more damage. It basically equals out RBM's damage, but we're still losing by 1%. 10 seconds left on the clock. This is where we have to go. Zulon has to tank this fire. We have to be able to push up. Tyrant has no more gadgets left to go, and there's 5 seconds left on the clock. We just have to absolutely send it, and we get the damage. 10% win. Slowest safe zone set I've ever played, but guess what? We won, and that was how we had to play it. So let's get to the next. All right, here we go, hopping into Super Beach, the next set of the match. Now, I won't lie to you guys, this one was also pretty slow paced. No one really wanted to make a mistake, and honestly, I felt like they should have been playing more aggressive. Like, their Primo comps, to me, seems like the aggressive comp. They have probably the advantage in the mid with Spike versus the Lu. The only matchup that they really lose, in my opinion, is the Sprout. However, Ashe can win the Primo matchup at first, but eventually, once Primo gets super, Primo does win that matchup. So I was kind of curious to why they played it slow. Honestly, playing slow, I felt like played into our hand. We actually have the advantage once we get more supers. Like, the Lu super is so valuable. Zulon does get a kill onto RBM, and that's like I'm talking about. We do win that first interaction with Ashe versus the Primo usually. So again, it's kind of a stalemate, but we have control now as Primo goes down, but they do have super. So you got to keep that in mind. The wall comes out by his Livy, and Tyrant is getting really close to a super. Now, drops the super in the mid. It puts them in a terrible spot. I don't know why he didn't gadget, but I don't hate it either. He's still maybe just saving gadgets, but he does do a beautiful play. Heads up play, knows that Juan Carlos is stuck, grabs the ball, puts it in the net. With 40 seconds left, we do take the lead, and now it's a mismatch. You're gonna see a lot of lane switches throughout this set. We actually want the Ashe on the Primo. It sounds kind of dumb, but we wanted to make sure Izlivy was on the Dynamite. That is a matchup that Izlivy is going to win. And again, you can see Zulon actually does a wonderful job in this entire series versus the Primo. It's a hard matchup to win. Tyrant is going to have to defend this though. 20 seconds left. They are going to try to go for this, and you're also going to see a funny play here just in a couple moments. RBM's going to try to make a jump. He is honestly crazy with Primo, does get the jump, gets a lot of damage, and his Livy traps Juan Carlos with about 10 seconds left. There's just no way that Juan Carlos is going to be able to get out. He knows it. We grab the first game. Let's get to the next. All right, here we go. Next game. Now, you're going to notice lane switches, random matchups, honestly, throughout. Ashe mid versus Primo mid. Something you'll probably never see again. And honestly, is because we wanted, well, Ashe on Primo for at least the start, right? We wanted that matchup at the start. Zulon's gonna make a awesome play here, dropping the rats. Now Tyrant, I don't know if I'm gonna rewind it. I don't know if you've seen it. It was so close to going in. This is such a heads up play by him, knowing Juan Carlos is stunned, and he just hit the post. Almost a wonderful play, and it just doesn't work out, but not the end of the world. I love the fact that we go for it as Livy's going to lock it down, but now it is becoming a little bit problematic as RBM is definitely close to super, and you're going to watch the right side. He is so close. He's literally playing for it. He's trying to get a hit. He's actually trying to get hit because, well, that's how he gets it. You see, he gets it, goes in immediately. Tyrant's going to do a wonderful job, though, of helping Zulon as Livy takes out Juan Carlos, and we grab the control again. So we defended that literally perfection, and now we have control. We have exactly what we want. We're pushing up, and with 10 or a minute left on the clock, we're looking pretty good. Even though we don't have the lead yet, RBM's not that close to super. They do have a Spike super, but as Livy's tapping up the Dynamite, and we're looking pretty good. Just gotta wait for, you know, an opportunity. Want either them to mess up, we get a lose super, Ashe gets a couple nice hits, something to happen. Again, we're not gonna panic. There's no reason to panic. Overtime is probably in our favor. You can see them making a couple moves here, and we're gonna play aggressive. Why not? We're gonna go for it right about now. You see they do hit the stun. That basically ruins our push. Nicely done from Toast, honestly, defending that. Tyrant does grab one. They are going to go for this, and unfortunately, this is a pretty hard goal to stop. I know everyone's like, oh, you should have stopped it. That's not that easy to stop, to be honest. He has super. It's either one or the other. You almost have to go for the 50-50. Yes, you can maybe react in time, but it's so hard. 20 seconds left, though. We still are in this game. It's still possible to come back. We're trying our best here to get a play. Tyrant is going to play aggressive onto Spike. Does get hit. The Spike super basically takes him out. And with Dynamite stuns on the defense, it's pretty hard to push in. So we lose game 2. Let's get to game 3. All right, game 3. And you'll notice 50 seconds left on the clock. A lot of skipping has been done. Basically, they grab the ball, put it in that corner exactly on the right side. Then nothing happened for about 2 minutes. No one wanted to make a move, and we were fine with that. And now you can see we get a kill onto Primo. It's time to go. Once you get that kill, once you get that advantage, it is time to use it. So nicely done from Zulon to look for that. Now Tyrant is going to go for the Spike. We get the Spike. And now we have the ball in a little bit better of a situation. We have a little bit more control. Juan Carlos is down, but they do have a Primo Super. So it is going to go to OT. I'll spoil that much for you guys. We're not going to be able to make the push until OT unless they make a huge mistake, but we're looking pretty good right about now. Honestly, we're hitting some shots onto Toast. It's looking like Livy's going to get the advantage. Tyrant's in a little bit of trouble of a spot. RBM goes for this. Honestly, crazy that he goes for it, but he does such a good job. Look, he even gets another jump, grabs 2 kills. Honestly, saves them so hard, but Tyrant is a maniac on the defense, gets the kill onto Toast. He tried to pass it over to Juan Carlos. Juan Carlos goes for it, but all 3 of us there to defend. They ain't going to score there. And now we're looking actually really good to score and win this in overtime. They have no control. We have a loose super, goes out. We do pass the ball to RBM. RBM gets his super back, but goes down. 2 loose supers on the ground. They're not looking good. We dodge out in the Dynamite Sun. Now it's time to go for the goal. Juan Carlos is literally one shot. And RBM defends. Now, it's still not over. We still have another opportunity. Is Levy's going to just go for it? I respect it, but I think he could have been more patient. Now he goes down. It's really hard to score now. The Dynamite Stun comes out, does miss, but again, it's really hard for us to get this ball back. And honestly, I'm spoiling it. We're not going to score, even though it looks kind of close. There's so little time left. I mean, 15 seconds. RBM gets the jump, does actually miss. We have to try to get that. If it stunned Juan Carlos, there was a chance, but we weren't able to score. And honestly, a missed opportunity. We should have won that game, but it happens. So let's go next. All right, here we go, guys. Now, this one, there will be a winner. This one will not be a tie. I'll not troll you guys like the last time. The only difference between this game and the other game is we got the ball to the left side, our winning side. So honestly, this game was much easier to play because, well, we were in a better situation. But again, Zuan gets a great start onto RBM. Now, I'm not sure why RBM didn't play more aggressive, but look how fast we punished their mistake. Once RBM goes down, we grab the goal basically immediately. And that was what we were waiting for. And that's why we played so slow. Of course, maybe not the funnest to watch as a viewer, but you got to do what you got to do to win the game sometimes. And well, we're going to have to do exactly that. So as Livy grabs the ball, supers it, and does put it out into the left, but RBM has super. Tyrant gets the gadget off and just stuns him in time. RBM probably would have scored if Tyrant didn't stun him, but we win the set. Let's get to the next. All right, here we go, hopping into Bell's Rock. Now, this one, we lost the draft. Honestly, 100% lost. Sprout is just the better brawler here than the Squeak, than honestly anything. And honestly, they predicted I don't know if they predicted our bans or what, but they nailed it on the head. I mean, they literally had the best pick. Honestly, I felt like we lost the draft with just the bans alone. Beautiful wall though by Juan Carlos. But I mean, this is such an easy Sprout game other than the fact that as long as their lanes don't feed the Bonnie, I don't really know how Sprout dies, right? Like this is the hard thing. Bonnie's the only one that can really kill Sprout. So a lot of the pressure is going to be put on Tyrant. You can see that this is actually going to get really close. Hold on, it's not quite over. Zuan is going to go for RBM, does grab the kill, and Toast is going to go for his clone. He TPs back and almost grabs the kill. I think if he would have waited one more second, he would have won that. Now, I don't blame him for going for it. Honestly, he did such a good job and made that even close. That was a 1v3 scenario, almost grabbing that. Now, here we go back into the next game. And again, you're gonna notice the Sprout just beats Squeak, guys. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. The slow circle, you know, puts him back a little far for a little while, but I don't know. He just bounces shots off the wall. Here comes the wall in a second, and then he can just walk up. Squeak can't really do anything as Livy's trying his best. And the lanes, well, we have good lanes, but we don't also have like super hard winning lanes. So it's kind of tough for us, but either way, it's still not over. There is ways to win this, and we just have to play it perfectly. And so we're going to try our best to do so. As Livy's going to pop the Squeak circle so they can't push up. I like that play. But again, we only have 3 of those. Zuan is tapping with RT, by the way. And well, there's just nothing going on again. This is the slowest, closest match of pros you'll ever see. Now, Zuan goes in, or Tyrant goes in, excuse me, gets one. Zuan is actually going to grab a kill onto RBM with the smoke. And as Livy's not going to lose this 1v1 versus Toast in the smoke. So we actually grab a game win. So it's actually really possible for us to win here. We just need one more Bonnie super really to jump the Sprout and to get the win, but very hard to do so against a Lola, against a B, and they knew that. They also played super slow on the lanes. Like if they, you know, made a little bit more mistakes, like where they just kind of played too aggressive on the lanes, Juan Carlos would have had a lot harder of a time. So again, well played to them, really. They made this one really hard for us, and you can see the Sprout wall coming out. Now, how are we supposed to deal with the Sprout? Sprout walks up, nothing anybody can do. Tyrant has to pop a gadget to get away, trying his best and does survive, but you can see another Sprout wall. There's no nobody is going to touch this Sprout. And I mean, we're just getting pegged. There's nothing we can do at this point. As Livy goes extremely low, trying to dodge on the Sprout shots. Here comes the Sprout shot from Juan Carlos. They do grab a kill. Now, this still is very, very close. Zuan grabs the super, and if he kills Juan Carlos, there was a chance. He tried his best. It was so close. But we lose the first game. Let's get to the next. All right, game 2. I'm skipping a little bit. We're going to go into the more aggressive kind of approach about this. And we're popping gadgets. We're doing the best we can. And honestly, Zuan is tapping on this left side versus RBM. Getting a good opportunity here for us to push up. As Livy is doing his best, trying to keep Juan Carlos back. But you can see Juan Carlos walks up to the wall. This is where it gets a little bit dangerous for us. Tyrant's still in a really good position, though. You can see he's playing aggressive. As Livy's trying to follow up with the aggressive play. But again, Sprout is just so hard to deal with. Zuan does grab a kill onto RBM. It gets so close. They're both one shot, but the Sprout wall. Now, honestly, I'm not sure why Juan Carlos didn't pick up the wall here and go for the play, but Tyro was one shot from super and makes the clutch 1v2, grabbing us the win, giving us a chance to actually win this. Again, this is a very tough draft in my opinion. I think if you ask a lot of pros, I think this is, you know, maybe 80-20 or 70-30. I don't know. This is really hard to win in my opinion, but we still have a chance. It is honestly so reliant on the Bonnie or if they make a mistake. But here we are trying our best. We do have a couple more. I think we have one more Squeak Super or Squeak Gadget, excuse me. You can see it's popped right now, trying to stop them to push up to the wall. But we're in a very difficult situation. Again, this wall is just really, really tough. He's going to replace it, and there's nothing really we can do about it. Actually, he doesn't pick it up. So he actually doesn't pick it up, and he actually gives us a chance to come back inside of this game. So a little bit surprised by that. But I mean, either way, he's going to get it back. It's 4 shots. There it is. That's back to the Sprout wall. Smoke's coming in. Here comes the last final ditch effort to see if we can make a play. But you're going to see Juan Carlos walks up, gets a lot of shots. We're trying our best. Now, honestly, as Livy didn't want to get trapped into the mid, but I think that would have been the best case scenario. Maybe if he gets trapped into the mid, he's able to walk up, but we're going to lose this round and we know it. So Zuan's just going to go suicide. We're getting a little bit closer to Bonnie Super. It's going to come down to one last round. Let's see if we can win it. Round number 3. Now, this scenario, we don't really want to go until the smoke. I mean, they have the Sprout wall. They have all these scenarios. Now, there was an opportunity that you didn't quite see. Zuan was tapping and had the mark. Now, the thing about RT is that mark does damage no matter what hits them. It's a lot of damage. And so honestly, when they were both marked, the Sprout and the Lola, I think it was an opportunity for Izlivy to play aggressive with the Squeak Super. Honestly, go for it, because right about now, you can see how bad of a situation we're put in. Izlivy does hit the Squeak Super onto Juan Carlos, but still, Tyrant is in a terrible situation. Like, there's nowhere really for him to go. Sprout can just hit any shot he wants. Double Sprout wall. It's not looking good. We're not going to be able to win this. Honestly, we played pretty well. Just couldn't come out with the win. So let's get to the last set. All right, here we go. Last set. One of us is going to walk away with this after this grueling. And this was probably one of the longest series ever in Brawl Stars, guys. I mean, there was ties, there was a tie in Heist, a tie in Brawl Ball, and it just shows how close this match really was. No team wanted to make the mistakes, and I honestly think both teams played it really well. But either way, this is, again, last set. Something is going to happen. Tyrant gets a roll, gets a kill, does go for the double roll, almost grabs both. That would have been nuts, but still not too bad. He's probably getting pretty close as Livy hits the slow onto RBM, grabbing that kill. And now it's back to kind of a stalemate. They kind of equalize the gems. They break up the mid. Now, this is a very interesting draft. Now, I don't think it's really in favor of anybody too much. I kind of like their draft a little bit more, but I think it's pretty even overall. The Daryl can make a lot of plays. The Spike is actually just a solid lane, but they do get power-ups. And I like Bo into B, actually. A lot of people didn't really like that, but to me, I think it's a pretty good matchup into the B. RBM grabs a kill onto Spike, and now we're going to switch lanes. Tyrant's going to go on to RBM. They have the gem lead, though. It's looking not great for us, but Tyrant's able to walk up. Unfortunately, hits the wall. I think he would have killed Toast. I think this game probably would have been over right there, but somehow he clipped the wall, and I thought it was a perfect roll. And honestly, very, very unlucky. But it's not over. There's actually still an opportunity to come back, because, well, we hold it down with Spike and B. Tyrant's back into the mid. They're going to go for a play here. Tyrant's going to actually interrupt it. Izlivy's going to go down, but Zuan locks it down, man. He holds down the control. Tyrant picks up the gem so they don't grab the countdown, and that's what they were going for. They wanted that gem that Tyrant grabbed, and they were going to try to win it right there, but good heads up play by us, and honestly not allowing them to do so. Now at this point, it's just a 2v2. It's like, who can win? The Russ and Bo versus Spike and B. And honestly, we are very comfortable with B and Spike. This is like what we love to have. And so far, it's actually really close still, though. You can see that they switched the matchups. You can see Carl goes in on Spike. Nothing really we can do there. He does a good heads-up play by RBM. Now, we can't actually kill RBM. It doesn't really matter. RBM is basically irrelevant right now. So we're going to ignore him. That gem doesn't matter. I don't think we can tie even if we kill RBM, pick it up. So we're going to have to go for Toast or Juan Carlos. Tyrant rolls in, but we don't have the damage and the follow-up. So they grab 1 win. Now they're on match point. We need to win 2 more to save us. All right, here we go. Game 2. And honestly, this was the worst start we had yet. But it's honestly kind of expected. They got the lane matchups they want. They guessed the 50-50. They got Carl onto Spike and they double teamed the Daryl. Kind of just hard. I mean, it's just whoever gets the matchup. Tyrant's going to go in, grabs the slow, but RBM was 1 shot from super, so it makes it a little bit tough. He used the super to try to interrupt. His Livy hits a beautiful 3K to save Tyrant and save his lane. And now we're actually looking pretty solid. Honestly, that 3K was so clutch. Now, this is a little bit different. Carl wins the Spike matchup, but once Spike has control, it's not that easy for Carl to win. So it's looking actually really good for us. And Tyrant is going to just go God mode. I mean, he was like, you know what? I might have missed 1 roll. I ain't gonna miss anymore. And he pops off, kills Ruffs there with a beautiful roll. Now Zuan again locking down this lane versus RBM. His job is just to hold. Tyrant's gonna keep rolling in, keep killing Juan Carlos. We only need 2 more gems, and honestly, RBM has to make the play, and we know he's coming for it. So Zuan is gonna just put all its focus onto RBM, trying to keep him low. There he goes in for the play, but the 10th gem's already spawned. We already grab it. Tyrant still has another roll. He's just gonna look for an opportunity. He goes for Juan Carlos. Juan Carlos does grab the kill this time around, but Spike, Zuan locks it down, man. He got the kill onto Carl. Basically killed Toast with 4 seconds left. We're gonna force this to a double match point. One of the craziest series in Brawl Stars. Let's get it. All right, here we go. This will be the last one, and there's no ties inside of gem grab. It's not even possible. So I don't think it's possible. Someone have to let me know in the comments. But either way, so far, not a great start, but watch Zuan go to work, man. Honestly, super impressed the way he stayed alive for so long. He allowed Tyrant to even come back in lane and win, and that was so clutch. We're 4 up in gems, or 4-1, excuse me, or 4-2, and now Tyrant or Zuan's gonna come back in lane, but RBM's low because of a nice shot from his Livy, and you can see Zuan's hitting those curveball shots, man. He's honestly so cracked. Onto Spike, he gets all the curveball shots he wants, puts RBM extremely low. They're gonna try to switch matchups, or at least RBM is gonna try to go back and heal up. Tyrant gets a nice roll and gets a kill onto Toast. The slows come out. We actually grab the gems, and this is so good for us. The 2 gems spawn in the middle, 10 gems in the countdown, and this is just a absolute beautiful scenario. Tyrant's looking for the roll, does get onto Juan Carlos, grabs the kill. There's only 2 of them left to make the play. The only one to really watch out for is RBM. If we can stop RBM from coming in with the super, we're gonna win this game. Tyrant rolls in onto Toast. Toast goes down. The bow mine doesn't hit, and we win a grueling set 5 double match point versus Chazmac Gaming. And there we go, guys. We are able to win our semifinals match versus Chazmac Gaming. An absolutely brutal series for both teams. We do manage to come out on top, putting us into the finals. If you want to see the finals, make sure you comment, like, subscribe. Let me know, and I'll show you guys. But either way, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.